And the Guilty is recorded live with the men and women of law enforcement. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Now, here's your host, Iredell County Sheriff Darren Campbell.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
All right, welcome everyone to The Good, the Bad, and the Guilty here on WSIC, live in the wonderful Purple Heart Homes studio here. We've got a good show for you today. I'm excited about the show. I'm not your host, Darren Campbell. I'm your host, Captain Matt. I've got one of my longtime friends that I've got to work with since I came to the sheriff's office. Me and you might have came around the same time. This is Deputy Rhyne Rankins is with me today. So Rhyne, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know you got a busy summer. You got a lot of stuff going on. Appreciate you taking your time out to come in and sit with us inside in the air condition a little bit. So we'll talk a little bit about some of the stuff you do. We want to talk about today's show is brought to you by Harrison's Workwear. We love those folks down at Harrison's. Gets us some good uniforms, good deals on other stuff. If you go in there, be careful about taking Donna. You don't want to take your wife in there because they got lots of girl stuff. There's all those cowgirl boots, cowgirl jeans, t-shirts, Southern Charm stuff. I know that there's what's the shoes that everybody likes? The Hey Dudes and those type things. Yeah. But Ariat makes Hey Dudes. The Carhartt. And then they got a little small section in the back corner that's for our tactical boots and gears and stuff. So and you know, it's kind of like when you go in the grocery store. You know where's the milk at in the store? Right, it's at the very back wall, so you got to walk past everything to go back and get what you need. Right. So they do that to us. They put all that stuff there, and we have to walk past it all. But we love Harrison's. We appreciate them sponsoring the show. We appreciate them taking care of our uniform needs, and I'm sure they can help you with your workwear needs as well as your playwear needs. Whatever you need, go check those guys out and tell them you appreciate them sponsoring the sheriff's office. So Sheriff Campbell was in his office. Actually, he was in the next office to his. We had it all lined up. I was going to be over there next to you. He was going to be here at the head table in the host. But I got the wave off. So you don't get the wave off very much. The wave off's like, go ahead, take care of business because I'm handling business, and that's what he did. He had a gentleman in his office with a suit on, so it looked like some pretty important business. So he had about 4 people in there in the office next door to his, but I know they're handling stuff. But we appreciate him taking care of business so that we can come out here and do this. Right. So Rhyne, tell us your story. Where did you come from? What did you know? No, you can't sing. That's one of the things we talked about. Now, you can sing. Now, guys, he can sing. He can preach. But that's one of the rules. I can't let you sing. This is not a singing show. Right. This is a talking show. Right. You can come back later. They play this show on Facebook. They play it on X. They play it on their website, streaming live. So maybe we can get you here on WSIC to sing for them sometime. Right. All right. But tell us about where you come from.
Well, I come from, started out my career, I played international pro football. That was a exciting time in my life. And then I went and started working at the YMCA as a personal trainer. Mm-hmm. I did that for around about 10 years. And then I worked a little while at Walmart before I came in contact with a few of my friends that would stay out patrols. Yep. Talk to me about being in law enforcement. So,
but you're a local boy, right? You're from North Iredell, right? You're a Raider.
Correct.
Okay.
Went to North Iredell. Right. Graduated in '91. Right.
Had your high school sweetheart that you've been married to for a long time now. We'll say hello to Donna. So yeah. Right. So you played football.
Right. I played football for North Iredell, started running back, was all conference, all county, rushed for 1,000 yards that year. Goodness. So that was an exciting time for me in high school.
And so how does one get to go to, what'd you say, the semi-pro international football? How did you get to do that?
I had a few friends that I previously played with, and a couple of them that played football at Davidson College. Mm-hmm. And they introduced me and told me about going to a tryout. And so we went to a couple arena football tryouts in Memphis, Tennessee. And then I got introduced to a few coaches, and then I went down to Charleston, South Carolina, and I played a little bit down there with the Carolina Twisters.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
Yes.
And you travel with those guys too, I guess,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Okay.
I travel
All right.
with them pretty much all over North Carolina.
We were just in Charleston for vacation a couple of weeks ago. Man, it's hot down there.
Right,
Of course, it's hot out here.
Right, correct.
So all right, that's cool. I knew you'd play some ball, and you talked to a lot of the young folks and the teenagers and stuff in the schools. I know you as a school resource officer. So you came here. You started as a patrol officer, right?
Patrol officer.
You didn't work detention or anything else.
No, sir.
Okay, so you worked as a patrol officer, and how long did you stay on patrol before finding your way into the school system?
I was on patrol around about a year and a half.
Okay, all
And
right.
then I went from patrol to school resource officer at Monticello Alternative School.
That's right. I remember that now. That was okay. All right, those were some pretty special young men and women there. Yes, they and when I say special, not as in special needs, but special interests, special attention. They required a little bit more handling, talking to, and I know you had quite of a effect on some of those folks. How did you do that? How did you reach some of those troubled kids?
Well, just building trust in between me and the students by going around, being able to be available, and being available, letting them know that I'm there for them. And sooner or later, they came around by spending time with each other at lunch in PE and during the change, during the class change. And built a lot of relationships at that time.
And I know I've heard you do the talk because like we've only got another minute or so, and we'll talk more when we come back. But right now, the sheriff has you doing a true community policing role. So you are in the community every day, building those relationships. I hear about you walking downtown. You've been at the North Iredell Pool, the Harmony Pool. You've been down at the War Memorial. You've been at the Winnie Hooper Center, the Parks and Rec. So you find these places to go where you can interact with people and make those differences. But one of the things I've heard you say is about your goals. So what do you tell a young person about their goals? There's a little saying you have about that.
Well, the first of all, you got to give them some type of future outlook and try to tell them to get them a plain sheet of paper so they can be able to visualize it on paper instead of just talking about it. Usually if a kid or student writes down their plan, goals, and dreams and put it on paper, and they able to post it and put it on their wall in their room, they're able to see it every day and pass by it every day and let that motivate them to so they can be successful in achieving their plan, goals, and dreams.
I like that. Do you practice what you preach?
Yes, sir.
All
I
right,
practice what I preach.
So you got that. You did that too. You got
Yes.
do you still have those goals? Do you still look at
Still
those?
got those goals and plans, goals, and dreams.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate that. And we might get to some of those, or we might just talk about them at the break.
Right.
But we've got a break here coming up. Make sure you pay attention to the sponsors. Again, thank you for the support of these folks. And we'll be back here in about 2 minutes live with Deputy Rhyne Rankins. And I'm Captain Matt Burleyson. All right, welcome back, folks. We are here in the Purple Heart Homes studio. We are live on WSIC, X, the app, their website, streaming live. And I'm here with my good friend, Deputy Rhyne Rankins, and appreciate you being here with us and sharing some of your early time history, football, coming over to become an officer. What made you want to? Because you were later in life. Is that what I say? A late bloomer.
Right.
You weren't no young man.
Right.
You'd already done your year's career at working in the private industry, and now you wanted to come to public service.
Right.
So what made you do that?
Well, with me working at the neighborhood Walmart and working at a personal trainer with the kids and the staff at the YMCA, you have to be a people person. And so it was no different than me, changing roles and coming over to the sheriff's office because you have to be a people person and have to see the citizens of Iredell County as family. And so it made a smooth transition. Okay. Yep.
And you talked about the different things you've done. We listed some of these. I know that the sheriff keeps you busy. He's got you at all the festivals, all the places. The back seat of your car is full. And I know as a school resource officer, that's just your daily duties, Monday through Friday, correct, 8 to 4. But you're out a lot, holidays, weekends, those type things. So maybe some of your hopes, goals, and dreams is to keep me from assigning you anything else. No, I know you enjoy it because you're right. Those relationships that you build, those people that you meet, the attitude that you have, you're kind of like a magnet for that type of stuff. And I see it in your heart and your attitude that you have, and that's great. What's some of your favorite things that you do in the summertime when school's out? What are some of your favorite things?
Well, some of the things that I like to do is go around and visit some of these downtown stores. I visit with the store owners and a lot of the customers that might be walking in around downtown Statesville and downtown Mooresville, right, and interact with them. And see what type of interests that they might have and what they might need from me, and try to make, with my presence being downtown and me seeing a friendly face, to make it more safer and for them to be able to shop and run their establishment.
And you look sharp. That's one of the things the sheriff talks about. He'll say, Ryan's always sharp, shiny shoes, shiny belt, everything looks good. Got that hat stuff cocked down, and you're walking down there. And so, you're approachable and you look professional. And so you're almost like a recruiter too, right? I mean, so when folks ask you, it don't have to be young people, any another man your age or woman, what do you tell them about becoming a deputy or coming to work with us?
Well, if you can come and work with the sheriff's office, you can be a part of the solution. You can be able to come in and not just talk about it. You can be about, what you want your actions to be, because if you want change, you got to become change.
I like that. Exactly. Be a part of the solution, not part of the problem.
Correct.
And a lot of people do complain or whatever, and it's okay. You hear a lot of that, right? On the street, right. You go. I know you said you go to the barbershop. That's where everybody talks about everything and everybody, right?
Right.
But you get to hear the good side of stuff. I know that a lot of the folks will tell you, where if somebody's got something going on that they shouldn't have going on, you get to hear about that, and you can, kind of steer us in the direction to help them or yourself to do that. So,
right.
So those barbershops, and that's kind of and the downtown stuff, the festivals and fairs and parades and that kind of stuff. Those you interact with a lot of people, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So you're going from young to old at the same time. You might talk to some little old ladies and some little bitty kids. So, which one's your favorite, young or old?
Both.
How did I know you was going to say that? All right, yep. And you work on our mobile classroom quite a bit too.
Correct.
You go out with Jamie Welburn. I know that you've got an event with the Boys and Girls Club. Is that right? Correct. Foundations of Hope Ministries at the Boys and Girls Club. Got an event coming up in a couple weeks, and you've done that with those guys quite a few times. And that trailer. So I've seen you go on that mobile classroom, and you'll start at one end and you go around the other, and you've got their attention, whether it be children, parents with children or teenagers, what do you say to them in there? What's that speech you give to them?
Well, Sheriff Campbell has a well educated mobile classroom. And when you see a lot of these items and information that's displayed to you, when you know better, you do better. And so when you have this information, you can go back out into your community and get understanding and wisdom and knowledge about, the stuff that you stay away from and the things that you should take home to make you a safety.
Right. And I know that's what you just said, like the sheriff's, when Sheriff Campbell came into office, I believe this was one of his first visions to be able to reach the young people. And obviously through the school resource officers, through a lot of the school safety initiatives, the things he was able to do with the shields in the schools before we had SROs, those type things, and the relationships that he's built with them. We've got canines in schools now that the school system's helped us get, and we've got lots of other equipment that they'll be able to. But nothing beats what you say.
Right.
And having that mobile classroom brought out to the school, and having a person like you or Jamie on there talking about what people see, what they see, and what they see something, say something, bullying, that kind of stuff. That's just a great education. I know that there's a lot of stuff being updated. We've had that since he came in office. I love the little saying down at the bottom of the door. What does it say? Paid for by seized drug money, right?
Correct.
Yeah, 100% paid for by seized drug money. And at the time, I think we were the only one that had that. We might still be close to those. I've not seen one at another fair or festival, obviously, in our area. But so come in one door, go through, come out the other door. There's a little CSI section up front. It's got the fingerprints and stuff on it. So it is available to come to you guys' events and festivals, fairs, any type of things you have going on like that. If you want us to come out, bring it. I can. Ryan's not going to bring it. He's going to come in his shiny new car, his Charger. But somebody like me or Jamie will get the truck and bring it out there.
Right.
Because it's a big old beast to be able to do that. Talking about that and reaching those, what's another age group? I know you do some stuff with young drivers, right?
Correct.
Okay, what do you do with those guys?
Well, we go in there and teach them about how to be safe when you're driving, to put down that phone. That's pretty much probably 95% of everybody's daily life is to grab that phone, thinking they're missing out on something. And that's the number one thing that when I was personal training, I had a young lady that I personal trained, and number one thing that was safety for her was to let her mother know before she left the house before she come train with me, is to text her and then put that phone in the trunk when she on the way, and then she arrived to her destination to put it up. And I go over those type of safety tips with the driver's ed students.
What's so that's the phone part. What about do you guys do like mock traffic stops or talk about drugs and alcohol and stuff?
Correct.
Okay.
We do the traffic stops, let me know what it's like. What do you do if you are stopped by the police officer or sheriff? And give them safety tips not to panic, because if you're getting pulled over by law enforcement, it might not be about, issuing you a citation or you made an unsafe movement. It might be just to warn you about, your tail lights out or your tires going flat, and just giving us, just letting them know.
Right. A lot of people, when's the last time you look at your tag or you look at your lights? You don't know if your light's gotten busted out. There's hit and runs. There's other stuff going on. You don't know what's going on back there. And we see it because that's what we're looking at. We're looking at tags. We're looking at lights, tail lights, headlights, those type things. So just because you're getting pulled over, the blue lights are coming on, doesn't mean you're getting a ticket.
Right.
It's it could be strictly a safety thing. It could be a be on the lookout, a bolo for, a white Volvo, and you happen to be driving that white Volvo. So we're stopping it to see who's in there and making sure that person's okay. But yeah, the phone is a big thing, but the distracted driving, anytime there's a distraction in those cars, music, other people, do you talk to them about the folks that they have in the car with them?
Well, the number one thing that we talk about is when the officer approaches your car, to make sure you're giving them your full undivided attention, regardless of who's in the car. If you got your music on, turn it off. to make sure that you don't make no sudden movements.
Right.
Regardless if this is your first time being stopped, don't try to reach for your registration or your license because that's a lot of movement back there, and that triggers us to think that red flag that you're trying to reaching for a weapon or trying to hide something.
Right.
So just wait till the officer come to the window and give you instructions of what he wants from you. I mean, at nighttime you can turn on the interior light, so you can be able to illuminate everything inside and keep your hands on the steering wheel.
Right.
End all phone calls if you're on the phone. And make it, safe for you and safe for the officers at the same time.
Right, and that's the big thing. Their officer safety. It's a nervous thing that we do, and we might do them a dozen times a day. But that one time that someone gives you that feeling something's wrong, you might have to act or react, and action is faster than reaction. They know what they're going to do before we get a chance to contact them, and just telling those young students, those new drivers, what we're feeling like. Then it gives them a look in our eyes. I know Teen Academy's coming up. We'll start that next week, and that's one of the things we're doing. We're actually going to put them on traffic stops. They're going to be the officer. They're going to be in the car with the officer, coming up on them, and just give them a feel for what that's like and what they can see and can't see. And so I appreciate you doing that and making that an important thing and a stop on your daily duties. We'll come back here in a few minutes with after the other break. We'll talk about a few other things you got going on, and we'll get to some of the news and business at the sheriff's office. So, guys, we'll be back here shortly, and we appreciate you tuning in. And again, support these sponsors in between our shows. Thank you very much. All right, welcome back, folks. Thank you guys for joining us live here in the WSIC studio and on Facebook. We've got several of our friends watching on Facebook. Sissy says, hello, gentlemen. So we'd like to say hey to Sissy Odalita. So you would have known her or met her at one of the Citizens Academies that she was at. So she's been with us. We got several other members of the sheriff's office and in our detention center as well watching. So that's good. We appreciate those guys being with us and those teams out there. I won't call you guys out by name because I know you got a lot of stuff going on out there. But we appreciate you tuning in and checking us out. And anyone else out there, if you got any questions for us or questions for Rhyne, you'd like to put it on our Facebook Live, their feed here, I'll check it out and see if I can't get Rhyne some insight on what that's got going on.
Right.
So you asked me about the Teen Academy. I brought it up at the end. Teen Academy starts next week. It's going to run Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 8, and it starts on 7/8 and ends on 8/7. I don't know how I did that with them dates, but Miss Jared did that. She did a great job putting all that together. So, but we've expanded it this time, and when I say expanded, I think we expanded numbers too. Sheriff says they'd never stop except them. I think, and I had another application come in today, so I believe we're well over 50.
Right.
So when I tell, now that I've told you guys, you as one of our presenters that, and some of these other guys that find out about that, they're going to be a little worried because that's a lot of young folks. It's a lot of teens at one time. But you were hammering down on the whole point behind the Teen Academy, and I like the way you put it. Tell me what the sheriff's vision was for the Teen Academy.
Well, it breaks down barriers between for the youth to be able to get their impression of what the sheriff's office and what law enforcement do on a daily basis. With them be able to see things on firsthand instead of hearing about it or reading about it. They're able to see it, visualize it, and see it, and have hands on themselves. And when they go home in the community, they have their own take on what they seen and what they did because of false information that they might have heard on social media or in the news.
Right, and that's a golden opportunity right there. When the sheriff started this program, it was about that 13 to 16 year age, and there's been a couple of very mature 12-year-olds come through, but we don't need any life experience 17, 18-year-olds. It's that group right there. As a matter of fact, his daughter was that age at the time, and and you know, she's a smart young lady, and they kind of put their heads together and come up with this concept, and we've been able to grow it and work with it and add to it. But the bottom line, it's not about recruiting officers.
Right.
We don't want you to come work for us. We're not trying to talk you into that. And parents, sorry, it's not a scared straight thing either. We're not taking your kids that misbehave and fussing at them and making them behave. And I had to tell a parent the other day, it's not a daycare either. I mean, there's a lot of summer camps going. You at them every day.
Every day.
And this is a very hands-on, action-oriented learning opportunity that's been open for the citizens for years, and now it's for the teens. And so we take them on a ride on the patrol boat while talking about water safety, showing them some of the other tools that we use, that the motorcycle will be out there, outdoor safety. We introduce them to, you know, the narcotics division and the stuff that they do. The canines. I mean, in our business, we're around dogs.
Right.
And you, a dog lover, I know that's your children.
Right.
You and Donna's got a couple now. So that's your children, and we know that. But kids from the neighborhood might not know dogs are okay. And some might think every dog's okay. They want to hug and love on all of them and pull their ears and tails and stuff. But neat opportunity to bring the canines from the sheriff's office, and I think we're up to like 18, 19 dogs now, all to the Teen Academy on one of their training days. So now they get to see all the different dogs that are out there, from the English pointer to the labs to the Malinois, and get to see all the different types of dogs that we use. So that's pretty awesome to have that. And then at the end of the class, the end of the day, you know, there's lessons learned, there's friendship made. But again, what you said about the whole community thing, the neighborhood, that's golden. What they see and hear at home is not what we want them to think.
Right.
You know, I mean, not all of them. We got a lot of support from the community, and you know, we appreciate those folks telling that to their kids and teaching them that. But when these kids go back, it's it's kind of like they're ambassadors, diplomats, if you will, for law enforcement.
Right.
Then go back and talk about this is how it really is. This is how these guys and gals are, and this is, the sheriff's office is good people,
Right.
And that's a good opportunity to do that. So, yep, we appreciate you being a part of that. So, what I don't know where you write into the schedule at on the Teen Academy yet. You can do pretty much anything, a lot of those different days. But I know Miss Dara has been working out the schedule, and we've got a detention center tour coming up. I think you've helped out with that, went on that before. We've got the Lake Day, and you've been down there for that on those. What's your favorite part of the Teen Academy?
Well, pretty much all the departments are educational. Just like the kids at school that I work with from elementary all the way through high school, they are full of questions.
Oh, yeah.
And with this Teen Academy, they can answer all your questions with all the different departments that they're able to that comes by and speak with the teens.
Right.
And they will go home with a lot of knowledge.
Yep. And that's just like the Citizens Academy. Sissy will laugh at this. We've got some people that ask a lot of questions at the older adults, and there'll be a couple of them, and they won't stop asking questions.
Right.
You got to say, okay, you get one question tonight. That's it.
Right.
Because if you keep asking questions, we're never going to get done. But that's not with the Teen Academy. We try to have enough officers there to break them apart and do different programs. I know there'll be one night that we do fingerprinting. Maybe like blood splatter testing, splatter. I don't know. Randy will correct me. Captain Horton will correct me. But it's a whole CSI thing, and they'll do a escape room or some other type of solving clues type thing. So we get them broke up. We get them into different groups, and it's not always your friends that you come with that you're hanging out with.
Right.
And there'll be officers that will interact more and others that won't, but it's a good time to be there. It's a good thing to be a part of. And we allow parents to stay around too if they need to. We just don't want you in the middle of everything. These are young adults and they need to become leaders in the community. That's kind of what our Explorers Post about. You've spoken at the Explorers Post
Correct.
before?
Correct.
Yeah. And we're growing that now as well. We've got several advisors for the Explorers Post, and that is an age 14 to 19, 20, and those do want to be officers. They've got a uniform, a ball cap, and a polo shirt, and they come out and help us at the Pumpkin Festival, Race City Festival. I know you just had that. How many thousands of people you think contacted you at the Race City Festival last May down in Mooresville?
Oh, it's quite a bit. It's quite a bit.
There's thousands that go through there. And that's where you are a big proponent of giving stuff away.
Right.
You take all the stuff I got in my office. What's your favorite thing to give out?
One of the things I like to give out is I like to give out stickers, of course, to the kids.
Mm-hmm. They love those.
They not just the elementary kids. I have high school and college kids still want stickers. They want the stickers, and they love them pink pens.
Oh yeah,
they love
pink
them.
pens. Yep, absolutely. The sheriff talks about those pink pens. When we go into a restaurant, I better have a handful to give the waitress.
A majority of them love to get the sheriff's app.
Oh yeah,
The sheriff's app is very educational and give them a lot of information.
Yep. Yeah, and that's good. Yeah, the app can be for all ages.
Right.
And it's great because you can see who's in jail. You can see some crime prevention tips. You can find out what program you're going to be at next. You can sign up to have the mobile classroom come out. Sign up for the Teen Academy. There's a lot of things to do on the app. I know last week or 2 weeks ago, we had Brad Stroud in here talking about the sex offenders in the app.
Right.
So it's a way to keep you safe too. Right. And yeah, that's a good thing. We're not... we want to make sure everybody has that app. So we'll come right back here in a couple minutes, and we'll do our press releases and what else is going on in the county. All right. Well, welcome back. We want to thank you for joining us for this hour that we've been together. Doesn't seem like that long. This is our last segment. Told you guys we'd get to the news, and Joe wants us to have good news and have fun, and this be a great segment. But, you know, I mean, people getting arrested isn't always good news. I mean, it's good news for the people that are saved by that situation, but sometimes bad news for people that make those bad decisions. So I know that there's one of the incidents that occurred last few days was a shooting incident where an officer was involved in protecting the store from a person with an edged weapon, a knife. And so I think you were in the area, you were in the neighborhood when that call went out, and you're one of the first ones there.
Right.
So
officers are made to make split decisions.
Right.
Quickly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Split-second decisions. When you think about your safety from the officer point of view, but then you got to think about, you were there, the other officers. This officer's got to make that decision. Less lethal force, I think, was deployed. It didn't work.
Right.
A taser was tried. You can try something else, but how many times do you try before it's actually this is what's got to be done. I got to stop the threat.
Correct.
And I know you went into the store after the threat was stopped.
Correct.
Yeah.
I went inside the store to make sure the safety of the customers and the safety of the employees, and make them aware of what was going on outside the store.
And you said several of them were, of course, they wanted to know what's going on, but they were very thankful for acting. And it was within seconds. It was a person having a mental problem, but with that knife and trying to get into the store, the officer was able to put himself between the store entrance and the man, but he continued to advance. So that's Daniel Glenn Brown, 33 years old, and that happened up at the Family Dollar up there in Harmony, on Harmony Highway. So there is a warrant for him. I'm not sure if he's been charged yet, but he is. We do know his whereabouts for felony assault with a deadly weapon on a government official. So once he receives his medical care, that will be served on him. So more positive notes. Again, people arrested, right? They have a choice. Make the good decisions.
Right.
Our narcotics division, hard at work for the last 3 months, March 25 through June 25, 19 suspects, and that's an ongoing growing number. There's always more other cases that come in, but 19 people have been arrested. That dropped on our website, on Facebook, and on the app today, so you can go in there and check those folks out. Maybe somebody you know, maybe somebody you thought you knew, but bottom line, what's the sheriff say about addicts and people that need help? What does he say about that? Yeah, if he needs help, you come to us.
Right.
Don't come to us once you've been charged or once you're in jail.
Right.
Everybody wants to help then.
Correct.
But yeah, these all were repeat offenders who have sold to an undercover agent. And one of the things that the sheriff talks about is that nexus to crime. Drugs have such a nexus to crime. The users and abusers that are out there that continue to perpetuate crime against others, many times are families. Says drug-related crimes don't exist in a vacuum. They spark a chain reaction, leads to thefts, assaults, and other violent acts. By aggressively pursuing those who distribute illegal substances, especially repeat offenders, we're striking at the heart of the problem and making our neighborhoods safer for everyone. And obviously the app is helpful with that. Anytime there's any suspects that they're not a suspect to you as a neighbor, they're just suspicious.
Right.
They're suspect to us when we determine what crime it is. But if there's suspicious stuff going on in your neighborhood, someone that you know about, that you think you may want to let us know about, then we would certainly appreciate that information to come out. So check out those people on Facebook. Check out those, and you can see their histories and the probation that they're. Many of them are currently on probation. There's one with a $120,000 secure bond. Currently on probation, $75,000 bond. We're talking about some, again, repeat offenders who continue to perpetuate the crime in our community, and we'll lock them up again if they get out again. So that's what we have to do. So No bond. That's more like it, not getting out of here. So what do you say to young kids that are thinking about vaping and smoking a little marijuana and doing some other stuff? I know you've talked to them, or everybody's got that idea of, that's okay, that's not a big deal.
Well, back in the day, when people used to smoke cigarettes, but now it's vapes, and vape is more potent and more stronger in chemicals than the average cigarettes. But when you open up to vapes, it's the gateway to all the other drugs because it's like a domino effect. You want to get more curious about what your other friends might be doing or what you might be seeing and what you might be seeing on social media. And I try to tell them, to stay away from that. It's nothing healthy about this. It's not going to make you better. It's just going to make you worse in your learning ability or not even your educational ability.
Right.
So it's not going to help you have a better relationship with your family or your relationship with your spouse or your girlfriend or your brothers or sisters. To try to make sure you avoid from that. And when you come to like these academies or get more educated from like all of the different departments throughout the sheriff's office, it gives you a little bit more education and wisdom and knowledge for stuff to deter from. Right. And that's one thing I like about a lot of these programs. I try to point them in that direction so they can get educated.
Right. And that's just like the drug dealers that we've arrested there. Like I was saying, if there's a way to contact us. If you need help, we'll get you some help and assistance. And you're fighting the good fight from the early on, with the vapes. And I know you're in a middle school, right. But we've seen middle schoolers and high schoolers sent to the hospital. Correct. After vaping. And it's a drug.
Right.
It's nicotine, if that's all it is, but somebody was telling me the other day those 0.5s it's about like 20 cigarettes in one little cartridge.
Right.
So when you get 5.5s, that's like 100. That's 100 cigarettes in a little small package, just like that. And if it's not nicotine, some of these things have the oils and the other stuff that's added in it, and the different marijuana derivatives and the CBD and THC. So we don't want to get those in the hands of the kids. And these ones, the little gummies and candies and stuff that look like it too, they could be tricked, but a lot of them know what they're doing.
Right.
They just hadn't been told that there's anything wrong with them or anything bad with them. And then I like how you said it is a gateway drug. So once you start, you can't stop. Right. You need a longer high, bigger high, better high, something, and somebody else wants you to try something. Right. So, and the best thing to do for that is if you don't start, right, you don't have to stop, right? Right. That's the best thing to do for that. Also, we've got, Deputy Lewis, Deputy Travis Lewis. So did you hear about his award from the North Carolina Juvenile Officers Association? Right. Yep. So we're all proud of him for doing that. He did receive the L.T. Williams Officer of the Year Award. Deputy Lewis has been with our agency since 2006. He most currently serves at North Iredell High School with K-9 Raider. He teaches in the North Carolina Wildlife Resource Commission classes, which, as a matter of fact, we still have room available, I believe, in several of those classes. Next week is the Outdoor Week Academy. I know you've got that on your calendar to go up North Iredell, visit with those young people in any age, actually, that are taking those classes. We've got a hunter education, boater education, which you must have those classes to be able to use a boat and operate on North Carolina or hunt in North Carolina. And then there's some other good classes on black powder, muzzle loading, as well as classes on bow fishing. And there's just a lot of good stuff. The interaction with we've got several of the officers are going to help out with that. So that'll be some good stuff. So we appreciate Travis, congratulate him on that award, and anxious to see what he's going to continue to do here at the Sheriff's Office. July is Vehicle Theft Prevention Month. So how can we prevent our vehicle from being stolen? Go.
Make sure your car's locked. Make sure that you don't have items that's in your car that's going to make it very for somebody to want to break out the window and get in, or try to open up your car, like your pocketbook, your purse, your cell phone.
Right. And anything, even phone chargers, bags, electronics, those thieves see those in there, and they want it, right? The window shopping, literally through your window, what you've got in there. Too many people leave firearms and other valuables in there, but you can deter most of this by locking it.
Correct.
Many times, I don't know of a time in my years that windows have been busted out, but doors have been opened because they weren't locked. So lock your doors, folks. Make sure you do that. July the 4th, 1776, America declared its independence, began its journey as a free nation. How will you be celebrating on July the 4th? This Friday.
Probably have a plate of food.
The traditional cookout food, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Correct.
Are you cooking this food, or are you going to have it cooked for you?
Probably let somebody else be the chef this time.
I like that. That's good. So it's going to be hot, right? So if you're out on the boat, make sure you wear your life jacket. Drive responsibly. Get ready for heavy traffic, especially in the evenings around those areas where the fireworks stuff going on. We want to make sure everybody stays safe when that's going on. So I know we've got a couple events. Neighborhood, Bay Mountain neighborhood's got a nice little parade. That's good. Harmony's got a whole day of events, a breakfast and a parade in the afternoon. So you got car shows and tractor shows. So
make sure they hydrate.
Right, hydrate, stay well. Yep. And maybe if you come out to the parades, who might they see?
They might see me.
They might see you. They might see you. You might be driving the sheriff around at some of those parades.
Correct. Might see the sheriff.
Folks, we really appreciate you joining us today. I'm your host, Captain Matt. This right here is this young man's superstar quarterback, Rhyne Rankins, and we're glad to have him.